Hello, this is David Shreve, Algebra 2 instructor with Florida Virtual School. We're going to go over a couple problems from 1.3 from the Algebra 2 course. First thing, we're going to go over a quick order of operations here. You can see up here on the right, some students, it helps them to just write down the PEMDAS up there. That way, if you need to refer back to it for anything, just to remember the order that we're going to work in here. So looking at this first problem, we've got two sets of parentheses, and I know that's the P in PEMDAS. Stands for parentheses or grouping symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and start simplifying that. Start with this set of parentheses. I'll just work left to right here. 9 minus 6. And although the calculations are fairly simple in my next group of parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I show every single step through this entire process. So I'm going to make sure that I'm showing each line. Okay. Next, we've got an exponent here, but I've still got P for parentheses. I've still got more parentheses to simplify. So I'm just going to rewrite the 3 squared. Now inside the parentheses, I have to follow order of operations as well. We have a subtraction and a division. And you can see moving left to right that the division is going to come before the subtraction. So I'll need to do this division portion here first. Right. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Alright, for the next step, we still have more parentheses to simplify. So 3 squared times 6 minus 2 is 4. And now I can move on to my exponent here. You see the E for exponent. So 3 squared is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Alright. Just in this, for a lot of you, is probably a quick refresher, just a quick review. Something like negative 5x equals 30. We're solving for x here. Some of you might even look at it and say, well, negative 5 times negative 6 would be 30. But we want to think of the algebraic process to actually solve that. We're going to do the opposite of what they're doing to the variable. Right now they're multiplying the variable by negative 5. I want to do the opposite of multiply by negative 5, which is divide by negative 5. So over here on the right, you'll see I have a positive 30 divided by a negative 5. So positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative value. So that's our final answer for that one. Alright, moving on. It's a few more steps involved in this next one. So we also have, sometimes I see students make errors when we have these negative distributions. We have a negative 4 being distributed here, and we have a negative being distributed here. You could also think of this when you have the negative sign in front of a set of parentheses. You could think of it as distributing a negative 1. If that helps you, just think of multiplying everything by a negative 1 there. So basically we're just switching the signs. So negative, and then we're going to distribute it to the parentheses. A negative times a positive 3x would equal a negative 3x. And then a negative times a negative 2 is negative times negative. That would be plus 2. Let's go ahead and distribute the negative 4 through here. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and then negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then we want to make sure we bring down this minus 4 that was over here on the far right. Okay, now from this point, before I get my variable on one side, which I definitely want to do here very soon, I'm going to go ahead and simplify these like terms that I have over here. Negative 3x plus 2 equals negative 4x, and negative 4 minus 4 is minus 8. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get the variable on one side. Now I could add 3x to each side, or I could add 4x to each side. In this case, I would prefer to add 4x to each side. Either one of them technically is correct, so we do have a couple options there. I just don't want a negative coefficient by my variable, so I'm going to add 4x to each side. Again, if you added 3x to each side here, that's still correct. There's nothing wrong with that. There's several steps that we can do at this point. Negative 3x plus 4x is just a positive 1x, and I don't write one coefficients. Alright, and over here, negative 4x plus 4x is 0, but we do have this minus 8. We need to bring that down. Right, and in the final step here, to get x by itself, they're adding a 2 to the x. I'm going to do the opposite, which is subtract 2. Remember, if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. Bring down the x. 2 minus 2 is 0. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. Alright, hope this helps.